I do miss kills sometime. I'm not a perfect person.
No,
Anyways.
you didn't miss it, but you almost did.
Yeah. Welcome, guys. This is Season 2 playoffs. We got a best of one here. Gloria and Mortem versus Cthuwu Moons.
You need me to post it? I'll post it in
Yeah, please.
streams. Yeah.
I need to go and grab my man Brown. Not Brown. Cooter. We are ready.
Let's go. Where do we post that again? League streams. There it is. At everyone. Playoffs. Round 1 resumes with who's playing? Gem versus Cthuwu Moon, come join in for this best of one set to start the night.
Excellent. All right, boys, we are in for P's and B's. Gloria and Mortem got the choice to pick first or second, so they have chosen to get that first pick. Funnily enough, they banned Gilgamesh despite him still being banned in League play.
That's kind of funny.
That's a wasted ban. Unfortunate for them. That announcement has been up for a decent amount of time. So, maybe they just didn't get the memo.
Who's there for? Who's banning? Maybe that'll explain it. Who's banning?
I believe both captains are, so it's Pitt and Cooter.
Maybe it was a troll ban. Could have been throwing bans.
Perhaps. Who knows? But that is the status of it, and we get chalk for the rest of these bans. Guan Yu, Scylla, Tiamat, Set, all things you see commonly banned. Of course, Scylla could be removed, and a Janus would be there, or possibly even a Raijin. Lots of other powerful mages, but they choose the Scylla here, which is, perfectly fine. Scylla has one of the best.
This man said Raijin ban. You're funny.
I don't know, man. Raijin's good. I love Raijin.
He's good. He's not ban-worthy. He's good.
He's definitely pick-worthy in top 3, but he usually, you're right, does not get banned, so you can pick him bottom 3, and he's still very good. So, it's one of those things you can keep in your back pocket.
I don't think I've ever been thinking about banning mids, and I'm like, you know what I'm going to ban? Raijin. No, he just don't.
The drum man, he does get through. He's sneaky. Anyways, we do have...
bad.
Yeah, you might notice there was one sneaky pick that was not banned, and that is Athena.
Wisdom shall be my shield.
Imagine letting Athena through.
Yeah, imagine letting Athena through. Could not be me, personally, because I hate playing against Athena. She is so strong now that her taunt does damage, and she's just a menace throughout the map. You could put her on jungle, you put her on support, and then whenever you try and gank, you end up having a whole 2 people down your throat.
Just as strong. Honestly, both just as strong. Chernobog with that full map presence, able to split push like Apollo would be able to, and also just a good all-around safe carry.
Yeah, he's a very safe pick. I like it a lot.
Sobek does Sobek things.
Yeah, Sobek plucks are big, huge, one might say, as we do see on her and King Art.
On her locked in. Let's go. Yeah, on her's probably the best carry, I think, in
the game right now, in this meta.
Yeah, he's easily the best. He's always been the best 1v1, and he's just hands down the best. KA, kind of the same, just kind of unmatched in his presence and ability to stay alive in team fights. Kakulin just likes to run it down.
Mm-hmm.
So that's gonna be Omega on the KA.
Yeah, and we do see.
I haven't seen him play KA. I don't think.
I think I have before. It's not something I've seen him play often, but I think I might have seen it in
Yes, I realize. Pretend it's a souk. For next game, Gilga is already auto-banned. That there isn't another game link. Or there could be. There should be. As of right now, there's not a scheduled one.
There is a scheduled game later tonight at 10:30 Eastern Time. There is the best of 3 set of Booney Gang versus Cthuwu. So, as we do see these last bans come through. Pele, I'm a big fan of Pele. I'm very upset when she's banned because she's so much fun to play. She can dive
They
your
would ban
backline.
Pele, the Cyber One Trick God. Little
Dude,
odd
I
to
can't
pick a
blame
Willix in
Cyber.
that
Fucking, it's
slot.
fun as fuck.
Go,
Um,
Suku!
but we do see a Willix actually locked in, and that's gonna be pretty big because now you can grab on her when he's trying to get out. There might be a brief window in King Arthur's orange alt where you might be able to grab him.
You can't. You do
With
have Sobek Pluck and Kakulinal as well,
yes,
but I feel like it should have came after. I feel like there was no risk of it being picked against them. I feel like you could have picked that fifth and maybe caught 2 more leaps or something in there. And then there's Merlin, doing Merlin things. That is a pit special right there.
The brood is.
oh yeah.
Or Acme. Wow. Okay, Cyber.
Wait, hold on. Sorry, this actually isn't locked in yet. I was a little bit trigger happy on that one, but it is being hovered. It is being considered. Arachne, not exactly an on-meta pick. But you know, some people like to try out new things. Some people like to have fun. Not everything has to be chalk, and if everything was on meta, frankly, the game would be boring. So, it's a very interesting one. But they have switched what they're hovering now. Hovering over this Susano, who we've seen played in QSL League sets before. And he can do a lot of damage. His team fighting capabilities just really, really shine, especially if you allow him to get into that late game. Mostly because a lot of
So,
people don't really play against him, too. And that is locked in. So yes, indeed, we do have the Susano. But I would agree with you with the points you were making on Willix. It probably wasn't going to be, picked against you. So you could have waited till the 5th to see if they pop up any more people who have jumps, or maybe try and consider more picks you might do in order to... We do have the final pick in. It is Agni. So these are our team comps for this game. So what do you think, Skeet,
uh,
about these team comps?
I would have liked to see somebody with a knock up there on the side of Cthulhu. Kind of to end that out. I mean, you don't really want to play around a Willix, so it's not. It just kind of helps. But I mean, I guess Agni's definitely not a bad pick, especially in the Merlin. He's got that, dash, the stun, and all that. But look at these. Oh man, I'm tired. Looking at these comps, Athena obviously just an absolute unit. I think the first 3 picks for Gloria is just really strong. That Athena and on her is going to transfer really well, like from early all the way to late. Like they're just strong kind of throughout the game. KA runs that mid game, from like level 3 to level 15, or if he gets a lead, it's to level 20. And Merlin does Merlin things, so it's hard to really attack on him. Like that team's really just an all-around comp. Lots of CC involved. I really think that's a strong comp, but I mean, it goes the same for Cthulhu Moons as well. The Sobek Pluck, the Kakulan ult for the knockups with the Wheelix. All that can lead into Agni bombs, and man, I think this is honestly an even matchup if I'm really looking at it.
Yeah, if you just
Kinda
remove the
hard. It's really hard to
names,
say.
yeah, if you just remove the names, Cooter and all the people. We do have to note tonight, though, that Cthulhu Moons picked up for this best of one a emergency FA as they are allowed to. So you will see Sphinx, a minors
My
player,
boy.
in the jungle, and you will see Cooter go back to what many argue is his better role at support.
Sobek Cooter, let's go.
Yes, we will see a Cooterbeck tonight.
But if I had to pick a winning comp, I'd say Gem. Honestly, that's just a really good team right now.
Yeah, we've seen Gem, be a little bit surprising. I know many people were kind of skeptical from the draft, and when Omega was captain, that captainship has since been handed over to Pitt due to personal reasons. But they've shown they've been really strong. Rai has shown that he is a very, very strong, capable player in this league. Atticus also not something to snuff at. Not to mention that you got Cyber there in the jungle, who you mentioned the one trick Pele, but also many other fun things as we see with the Susano here. So all around, the names of the game are pretty fun, but whenever you remove them, these comps are, they have a lot of setup, they have a lot of damage. So it really depends on the micro and the macro here, the actual minds in play, which team can actually find the advantage. And we do have a pause, which is why I haven't transferred over, but I will do so now. Somebody must have DC'd or might be having an issue. So we shall wait and see. In the meantime, I'll just read through. Oh, and it looks like Liam is on top of the issue we were discussing before the cast. Skeet,
I messaged
so
him. I saw that.
yeah. Okay.
Alrighty, let's get this game rolling.
Yeah. Just a pause to start the game. No action has been seen. But now that you know that good old Sphinx is going to be in the jungle here today, not Cooter. Cooter onto the support. It looks like he was the one that DC'd. Does that sort of change, maybe, perhaps? Cthulhu Moons? This is a best of one. They don't have to win 2 games. They only need to win 1. Is it possible with this small roster change, given DK is not available? Does that change really anything for you, personally?
I mean, a lot can happen in a best of one. As we saw yesterday. It's no offense to the teams that won or anything like that, but I think 2 teams that, would have performed better and easily won in a best of 3 lost yesterday in that best of 1. It's no small task to take them down or anything. It's not snuffing at the teams that did beat them and made it further into the playoffs, but a lot can happen. Just a couple couple mistakes coming out, just 1 or 2 mistakes can really change the tides, and what would only be a 1-game loss, and you just kind of pick it up and move on, is now, that's your playoffs run right there, just going out, and it sucks, but that's the way it goes. And I feel like if Cthulhu Moons can capitalize on a couple mistakes made by the Gem Squad, I think they could definitely pull it off here. They've got the comp to do so. They can really play, like, they're going to be really strong in that mid game. I think is where they're really going to come out, and that's where they need to kind of pressure out Gem in order to pick this up.
Yeah. The mid game, especially once you see the laning phase evolve into its second part, where the supports begin to rotate. That's what plays really big, especially because we are seeing this Athena on support, too. The changing in matchups that we have with Sphinx in the jungle and Cooter on support, could prove to be the difference maker. As you said, all it takes is a few mistakes, to really get it through. And you mentioned, I kind of want to mention it too before I guess we're having a remake. Remake time. I will go back to P's and B's. Yeah. What I wanted to talk about is yesterday. Yesterday was a very crazy day. We saw a lot of upsets. For those of you who may have missed it, All In, which was considered really the top team. They had beaten Phenoms before. We were expecting a very feisty matchup coming in for finals. At least that was the thoughts, but those thoughts were crushed by Booney Gang after they took the upset. And so we have Booney Gang versus the other upset team, Kepwi Suns, who have struggled to find wins all season long. They've been taking games here and there, but against a very strong Dharmic Killers, they were able to take that game. Shutting down Davies in the jungle is no small feat, and Link was really popping on that Kukulkan. So, that is the story of those games, and then Phenoms won their game very handedly against a Goon squad that has been torn apart over the course of this season due to unforeseen circumstances and really unforeseeable circumstances.
Yeah, yesterday was crazy. I mean, you saw two top dogs really get kind of beaten out, and just their playoff chances got destroyed by these teams that they should have beat handily at the way the rankings and seedings were and how the games went earlier in the season. But anything can happen in playoffs, right?
Anything can happen in playoffs. We know it in sports. It's the same in esports. But that is what we are looking at now. And so Phenoms will face whoever wins this game, whether it be Gloria at Mortem, the higher seeded team, or Cthulhu Moons. For Cthulhu Moons, this is actually a pretty big matchup. Of course, it's the biggest one of the season. It determines if their season goes on. But it's pretty big because the most recent memory for that team is getting stomped by Gloria at Mortem. And so they are going to look to, if they can just get that one game, capitalize on those small mistakes, as Skeet was saying, pick up a win. That's huge. That's a revenge victory. And they will feel so good riding the tail of a win going into the rest of the playoffs. But they are going to have to perform excellently. It's not just about capitalizing on mistakes. It also means you have to make sure you don't make many of your own, because Gloria and Mortem will punish them.
I think they play that more aggressive style. Um, you know, while a lot of teams run their games out of solo lane like All In did, and you saw even Dharmic Destiny doing well. It was a lot of how they could maintain their leads. Davies would go and gank Destiny's lane, and once Destiny got ahead, he could really roll with it. And I mean, same with All In. And Amar would just kind of camp out that solo lane, and once Subkiller got a lead, he'd go. And I think Gloria plays a really different style. Omega plays a more passive solo lane, and they kind of don't focus that side of the map. He kind of just holds his own, and they focus a lot onto that ADC side and mid side with Pit and Rai, just a giant monster over there with Atticus as well, just creating havoc on that left side of the map, and they focus more on those purple buffs and red buff invades. Well, other teams would focus more on the blue buff invades, but I mean, it seems to be working for them so far. They've really turned it around this season. I think they're a really solid squad too.
Yeah, for
Very
sure.
impressive.
And yeah, that's a very interesting style because if you note any junglers in the chat, I, of course, being someone who
Did
does
they
the
ban
bungle.
Thoth?
Yeah, they did.
Crazy.
Um, as someone who does, in fact, bungle a lot, it's really hard. It's very risky to play that play style, being in the duo lane more often, because all of your farm is on the other side of the map. So if the other jungler is starting to recognize, you're on that side of the map a lot, they know that your backs are vulnerable. They're going to be picking up a lot of farm. You're not going to be having as much. You need to be on. Yeah, we are on P's and B's, Boogie, because right now the game is being remade. I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, like the other jungler, if they recognize that you're in the duo lane, they're just gonna take your farm, and if you can't get kills, then you're gonna come back to no farm that you can have. You're just gonna have to sit like in a lane stealing farm from your mid laner or solo laner or something. So it can be very disastrous, that style of play. Very, very risky, but very rewarding if you're able to successfully pull it off. As well as trying to catch the other jungler out, they play a good pressure. Getting those invades is key. Yes. Can't see the gameplay because there is no gameplay. It's okay. I know everyone's itching for this game to start.
Indeed, we are.
As me and Skeet are too.
Only 30 minutes late. You know how it be.
Oh yeah, we are sitting at almost 30 minutes late now. All right, so they're probably just gonna load into a blind pick here. Yep. So the game is starting to get loaded in there, putting down all the picks that they had before. Everyone's locking in what they need to lock in. And then once that's done, the game loads up. I'm able to configure all of the camera stuff, and then we'll be peachy.
Wouldn't be a QSL game if it didn't start 30 minutes late, Link said.
Link, that is more true than anything.
Indubitably.
I mean, if you really wanted to have it be a QSL game, it starts 45 minutes late, and then a team is told they're not allowed to play a certain player at a certain position, and then that just makes us have to go into general chat and yell at people.
We would
That
never do that.
never do that. Never do that.
Oh, it's unheard of. Crazy.
Yeah. Did you know that right now Joe is safely in the wilderness at a campfire because his mental health has blown up over a lot of the recent stress playoffs have caused. It's been a bit of a stressful time getting to the end of season 2, but season 3 is of course on the horizon. Lots of good and fun changes coming in. It'll be a good time. All right, so the game has loaded in. Not everyone has loaded into the game though.
Standing.
Yep, it's all right though. They're slowly trickling in. All right, get all of the stuff in their right places. All right, and here we go. Game on. Hopefully. Hopefully there's no more remakes. Hopefully everything is good on that
Let's
end.
go.
Oh my god.
Let's go.
But yeah,
Oh,
speaking of
boy.
Season 3, don't forget anyone in chat who has not signed up. Season 3 signups are there. They will determine how many franchises we elect to put up, and owner interviews will be coming up shortly, near the conclusion, if not at the direct conclusion of Season 2. So look out for that if you've signed up to be an owner of a franchise. And the open invite should be coming soon, I hope.
Minions have spawned.
Hopefully.
It's been made. Someone needs to actually make the announcement. But yeah, here we go. This is QSL Season 2 Playoffs Best of 1 Gloria at Mortem Cthulhu Moons. I am here joined by Skeet in the casting booth. I am Jeremy, and the game is on. The minions have spawned, and soon the lanes will clash as this game begins. So it looks
for the SPL start on Gem's side.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Gem started SPL, and so they're already in lane, putting up pressure as Cthulhu Moon's elected to go for the Season 7 start, as Pitt really out-pressuring Wool. Austin right there. Not going to be able to pick up the kill, though.
Yeah, that's Merlin things happening for you right there in lane.
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of just what happens after the start. Whenever your opponent goes with the new SPL start, you just have, pressure that you can't deal with. As we see the Cooter Pluck coming in, Arc misses the Chernar Bog ability there.
I mean, it's kind of crazy, though, because usually, doing the SPL start, it really it gives you less pressure in mid lane. As you see, Wheelix is already in mid, and Sasano's still over there clearing his backs right now. Like, it does make a difference. Pit might actually steal it here. See if he does. They're still clearing it. I think those went to the side of...
I think that went to Cthulhu Moons right there, but don't quote me on that. I also believe that's... Oh, solo! You don't see Charles get soloed often. Omega picking up the first blood. Focusing on the mid lane. Damn. We both missed that, Skeet.
Yeah, I wasn't even like... that's whack.
That's crazy. But yeah, it's very weird with the SPL start with the jungler, because sometimes I've seen players, they do this big one, they ignore the small one, they hit mid, and then they go back, just to answer the call if there's another jungler there, just to make sure your mid does not get out-pressured. Another thing... Oh, as Cooter gets taunted here, Rylan misses the knock-up.
Oh, come on. That's when you pluck right there. That's a free beads.
Austin getting his red buff invaded here, and it's really Cyber there for the kill, just the setup. Sphinx really unable to answer that in any
There's
way,
that
shape, or
left side of
form.
the map aggression right there. Already going for the purple, too.
Yep, Cyber with this big invade. The duo lane is here. Sobek is going to notice that, but he probably knows there's not much he can do. That purple's already been dropped. It's a little bit too late. That pressure is already coming out here early as we just now crest the 3-minute mark. Already 2 kills on the board for GEM. Lanes are going very well. They're getting a small lead here in XP and gold. It is early in the game. There are many things that can happen. Cooter there getting hit with the impale. Gonna get taunted as well. And use the pluck dash to get out. So Sphinx now sort of coming onto the side of the map as... Ooh! Sorry, I'm missing all these kills in solo lane, guys. Normally, I don't see a very risky solo lane, especially with how powerful both KA and Kakolin. It's a very classic solo lane matchup, and we've already seen 2 kills come out of there. First, Charles was soloed, Yellow Jin, and then he answers back with a solo kill of his own.
Yeah, just a brawl going on over there, but I like it. It's a little spiciness added.
A little bit of spice is always nice.
I wonder if he knew that blue buff was coming up, because that was free if he just walks over there.
Yeah, with that kill, you could have just invaded onto the blue. That's always something you have to look out for. At least maybe if you have, like, your ward up, the little vision shard. Just pop it there. Take a peek. But he elects to just simply go for his own. But Charles is going to have to be wary, because Omega has come back with a full health bar at this point. And he missed that ability.
He has an item lead as well now.
Yeah, so you
With
have to be
finished
careful.
boots and an extra, I forget what the name of that T1 is called. It's the T1 for Stone Gaia.
Glowing Emerald.
Which is what I would guess Omega's going to go into, considering it's an Wheelix comp, lots of knockups, lots of plucks.
Yeah, we did see that happen last night too. Whenever an Willish is picked, you know that there's going to be a lot of knockups looked for. And if you're the soul laner, you should easily be able to pick up that Stone of Gaia, and that just makes it so that way what they're going to set up for is going to directly heal you and keep you sustained in the fight. So sort of their strength now also becomes their strength. It's a very, very good counter item, which is primarily why you don't see a Willish picked a whole lot. She is able to get countered in the solo lane just by one item. So you really have to rely on that early game to try and get kills. As we do see Charles with a small health bar. Sphinx misses that cat. We will see Athena ult in for the safety. Yeah. So, not all is lost. You do pop that Athena ult so you know that right now the other lanes are vulnerable. There will not be an Athena coming there via an airdrop. She will have to just walk there like any other player. But now watch out. We do see that they're going to look for this blue buff invade. So we're going to see 3-man rotation. Cooter, Charles getting back into his own lane. And Atticus still sitting here thinking about picking it up. Going to try for the steal, getting that taunt out, and they're able to steal the blue buff. So now small skirmish will engage here. Charles looking to do a little bit of damage here. Oh, Sphinx hitting the big ultimate feather step coming out onto Atticus. He's going to have to go out. Sobek ults being used. Charles is the first one to fall in this engagement. This small fight has turned a big one. Omega pick up the kill onto Sphinx. This is a double kill for Omega behind the tier 1. Austin the Great trying to do any sort of damage as the rest of this filters out. Arc ulting in. Not going to be able to pick up anything. Instead, he gets killed. And that's a lot that you don't want to go your way. Well, you wanted it to go your way, and it did not, if you're Cthulhu Moons right there.
3 for none and lost the blue buff. That's tough.
Yeah, that's going to be a sizable difference right now for Gloria at Mortem, hitting the 3k gold diff and the 5k XP diff. That's a big lead to come out here. You know, you lost a lot of people there, and now Rai is just standing here in the middle of the jungle. Athena comes out, Impale hits Sphinx, turn around, Rylan with the excellent excellently placed, just able to whip your mouse around or console controller if
I
he is on that.
challenge
I'm not
you.
quite sure.
Beware
And
the
pick up the final autos from your ult. Pick up the kill. And now they're going to grab this Greater Scorpion and spawn the first objective of the game, the Gold Fury. So now definitely that left side pressure that we've been talking about, that the support and the jungler like to focus on, Gloria and Mortem is going to come in key, because they're going to want to set up for this Gold Fury, take it hopefully without any consequences.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying this pressure you see from Gem here. Just really, pressuring out this entire map here. Not really allowing Cthulhu Moons to get their own farm, forcing them behind. Like, pull up the XP graph, because, I mean, that's got to be huge. 1 level in solo, 2 in mid, and, yeah, I mean, right there you can already see it. Just ridiculous amount of pressure leads to this XP lead right here. Just grabbing all the farm that they can and stealing away anything that Cthulhu Moons might try and claim as their own.
Yes, sir. A lot of pressure. They like to play that pressure game. It's working out for them very well. Arc, you see, is not really allowed to have fun. Rai missed that impale onto the, what's that called again? The Shifting Sands Pillar. Did not come out. But we do see that,
9-minute Gold Fury.
yes, 9 minutes, sub 10 minute Gold Fury is being looked at here. Sphinx sees it happening, but is not going to be able to do much about it. The Susano ultimate comes in for the secure. And now Sphinx just trying to pick up anything, but is unable to get a single one of those oracles. As that
Kinda crazy.
lead
They saw
grows.
2 ults be used there. You saw 2 ults come out, and you see that 2 of them are low, and it looked like Cthulhu Moons was right around the corner, but they just didn't choose to engage on that. Chernobog had ult. There was a lot of things that could have been done there that I feel like they just didn't do.
Oh, Cyber coming in with the blink, trying to pick up the kill onto Austin, but is not going to be able to. Yeah, one of the things that sometimes players might not remember is that even if the fight for the objective is lost, you can always look for the counterplay. Even if you can't get it, if there's health bars that are low, if there are ults that are used, you might try and capitalize on the situation. Possibly target select those players who are vulnerable, who would just use their ults. Cyber, with the build he has, he's not very tanky at all. Very much so. If he's in the back line, if you can target select him and he's already low from an objective taking, he might be a easy kill. As we see, again, this pressure coming in onto the solo lane. Charles is going to look to just try and get his own blue buff. And I'm not even quite sure who got it, but a fight coming in here. KA ult being used to make sure that no fun is to be had. Charles goes down, as well as Cyber. As I was saying, he is much a glass cannon at this point. Sphinx is to follow, because he is also not really a cannon, but he is made of glass, getting that crusher coming out just now. So 2-for-1 trade. At least you're able to get Cyber out of the game for a little bit of time, but you do lose your own jungler and the solo lane, which is where the fight was. So just more pressure coming in. Omega, playing from ahead, is going to know to be safe, and he also knows that because the jungler just spawned, nobody's on these camps, he's going to be able to take them for absolutely free. Cooter's going to be here to try and stop it, but it's not going to really be in the cards. He's going to have to use his dash just to get out.
Yeah, I mean, what is this right now? A 7k gold lead at 12 minutes. This is starting to get a little bit out of hand if Gem keeps pushing this lead here.
Yeah,
Up,
you're going to have to
down,
look at it. But
pillar.
right now, Sphinx is unable to exist within
Oh
his
my.
own jungle. Rai doing Rai things, as we've seen him do all season long. 2 kills, a double kill onto both Sphinx and Cooter. He will fall eventually to Arc, but Arc getting answered by Athena there. Athena and Merlin there to make sure that that kill gets picked up. Again, another 3-for-1. We are now looking at an 11-3 kill difference in this game. 7k gold diff in favor of Gloria and Mortem. Several levels across the board 3 in the jungle.
Turn and fight.
2 at
Stand
mid
your
as Austin is
ground.
getting pulled in once again with that Merlin damage. Charles is not able to get his own blue buff and
I
just
feel
gets
like
picked
Cthulhu
up.
Moons is just not fighting as a team. They just look like they're going in one by one, like in that last fight you saw.
Ooh,
There we
nice
go. There's a
synergy
pluck.
though with the pluck.
There we go. Right as I said that, there's the synergy we need to make this game happen, make it interesting right here.
Yeah, plug
Take your
into a
kill, get
Willish
out.
alt and Feather Step. We'll take out that kill. Yeah, that is synergy at its finest, but Sphinx, though, is going to be up in the air, not allowed to play the game. Pluck, though, is going to send Omega directly to the vulnerable player. But it looks like everyone's going to be able to go out of this engagement. But big pressure. I mean, that's people on the yellow buff.
Yeah, I mean, not being able to punish somebody being on your own yellow buff, that's kind of tough. That just shows you how much pressure they really have going on right now.
But they do manage to pick up that one kill, so
You want
somewhat...
to put player damage up on the side?
Oh, sure. Player damage as this pyro is picked up uncontested by Gloria and Mortem, and that's sort of what you see. You know how solo lane goes. You always see the solo laners near the top. But on her, having that much damage, very, very big. He's just able to roam around. He's basically a second jungler for the other side of the map. Whenever he's not needed in lane, he's just making sure that Sphinx is not allowed to have any fun at all. And he's just outboxing everybody. Shifting Sands comes out, unable to pick up the arc that is low. We see pretty much a full team engagement with the exception of the solo laner who's looking to just farm and get back on level and gold with his opponent. But we will see that the Primal has spawned, and so possibly this is the next fight as Cooter gets taunted. He is in the enemy team. No one is there to help him. His own jungler and mid laner. Again, you see this sort of miscue, misplay, not really playing as a team, playing individually as if this were a casual or maybe ranked. The camera screws up on me again. Not
yeah,
really.
Cooter was just out of position there. There's no reason to be there alone. I don't think they have the ward coverage for him to be up that far as he is. I mean, look at the wards on the map right there for Gem. Just that whole upper left side of the map and even part of the right side just covered in wards there. You know, but no high wards for Cthulhu Moon, so they wouldn't even know that anybody's around there. As I'm speaking, Atticus picks up the kill and Pit as well onto Austin and Sphinx.
Yep.
This is looking like it's starting to get a little out of hand. 10k gold, 15 minutes. That's tough.
Yeah, 11k XP difference coming out. Almost 10k gold difference. You saw there, Cyber just able to sustain through that feather step from a Willish. Just not much going for you there. Getting cannoned down. You know, just, oh, what happened here? He's got switched. You know, as you see, this is just, like, clinical here. Of course, he picks up the Void Shield finally, making sure not to go into the trap of just going full damage, as we saw Davies do. In the previous night, going full damage made it so that way going into the backline was very, very hard for him and often resulted in his death. But Yellow Jin coming in, trying to get this steal onto the Fire Giant. Might be a little bit early here as he falls. Before the Fire Giant falls, Gloria at Mortem does pick up that objective. Cyber, though, getting picked up by Arc as he ulted in, but his life will be sacrificed there as well. Rampage and double kill. 4 sacrificial pits. That is a 3-for-1 trade, but that also is the big boy fire.
Yeah, if I'm Arc there, I was literally just about to say it before that fight broke out. If I'm him, I just keep pushing up that left lane like this Agni's about to do. You know, just kind of push up those waves, keep a little bit of pressure, maybe get a tower, you know, just get some farm. Because right now their team is so far down in farm and XP and gold and just everything. You can't win a fight. So going on and trying to win fire, I mean, maybe you get a steal with one person, but losing 3 people for that just isn't worth it because now they have fire. I mean, you took it off, I guess, their jungler, but still, Rye is the person you want to get it off right now. Rye and Omega, those are the 2 that you need to get fire off of as of right now.
Yeah, like if you look for the steal and you get it, you know, that's fine, but you have to realize that you're probably going to die for it. But not only do they not get the steal, but 3 whole people that engaged for the steal and possible cleanup die. That's not
Yeah, I
what
mean,
you
look
want
at
to
the
see.
left side of the map right now. Look at all that farm that was up on the lower half. You know, if you know where they're all at, you got to be out there farming that. That's just free farm that you're missing out on when you easily could have had it. I mean, 2 Agni ults on Oracles, that's something.
Yeah, just looking to pick up anything as quickly as possible because they know that the tower pushes are going to be coming eventually after Gloria Mortem collects Cooter once again out of position there. Cyber picking up the kill credit, so once again a power play here for Gloria Mortem down a frontliner there as Charles is the only one left. And we see a split push here. They know that they not only have the numbers, but they can sustain themselves against the 4 members that are still alive for the Cthuwu Moons. So it looks like there will be somewhat of an answer as they try to really just defend. They're not going to defend tier 2s. Seems silly for them at this moment, being down as much as they are. They're going to look for the Phoenix defense as Arc gets blinked on by Omega. Omega, though, getting ulted in. Feather Step by the Owilish. Arc, though, is the first one to fall as Cyber really just focuses on the squishies. Charles is going to fall in the front line, unable to really sustain against Sacrificial Pit's immense damage on that 18-level Merlin. But Cyber will eventually fall. Cooter dies a second time immediately after spawning.
No, he was down on the lower half. He was on the lower left side down there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's below Phoenix.
I remember I sort of lost it in my head, you know. He got killed at the beginning. I didn't even realize that he had just... Well, their timers are low, because they are fairly low leveled. So...
I mean, he's only... By the way, what does that say for Agni? Please don't tell me that says 10. I can't read it. Is that 16 or 10? It's all blurry on my
16,
screen.
sorry.
Okay, it looked like 10 for a second. I was like, oh no.
No, that is
Yeah,
not...
I mean, level 12,
level
that respawn timer is going to be pretty quick there.
Yeah, approximately 20 seconds, correct?
I don't know, dude. I really don't. I don't know the timers on that.
Yeah.
Probably something I should learn.
Yeah, just having timers in your mind. That was what was so mesmerizing about watching Dharma Killers. Just Davies having actual timers in his head about everything in the jungle. Like, that's just nuts to me, personally.
A lot of it's, you know, just recognition, too. Because, I mean, just knowing that when your speed comes up, or, like, when your speed buff has 20 seconds left, that means you have, like, if you really just, like, watch, like, when you clear camps on your... Like, when you're clearing, like, main camps, if you know that your speed buff has 100 seconds left on it, you know, and you cleared this camp, like, a buff camp, you know it's going to be exactly 100 seconds on your speed buff. You know, every time if you continually grab it on time and you're always there.
Yeah,
You know,
true.
A lot of those help, too.
Yeah,
just
he's
knowing
also...
your timers.
Yeah, he's also very experienced. He's played a lot of Smite to be at the level of play he has, so...
A lot of it's muscle memory as well. Well, not muscle, but just memorizing your pathing.
Mm-hmm. As we look here, Gloria Mortem gonna try and out-pressure as we do see a blink and pluck by Cooter, but his team does not have any follow-up to be had there. Omega now is harassing the backline of Cooter's team. Cooter's again gonna be the first one to fall in this engagement, followed by with a great Susano ult. We see Austin the Great and Cooter be the next ones to fall. This is game. 2 Phoenixes are down. So no upset really to be had here as Rai looks to just punish anyone who's available there. Big damage coming into the Titan. That is going to be a set win for Gloria at Mortem. A bit of a defense here coming out, but it looks like Gloria at Mortem's look to just going to pressure out any remaining members of Cthulhu Moons. That is the season ender for CM. Formerly, it's the Resistance, a tried and tough team. Unable to pull the upset here. Gloria at Mortem putting up a clinic, as that is the end of the game, end of the season for that team. And for the set, Gloria at Mortem will move on to face Phenoms in a yet-to-be-decided time. Their season continues on as one other team ends. So, Skeet, if you
Yes.
are a player on Cthulhu Moons, your season just now ended, what sort of lessons do you think they can draw possibly from this game and from the season after getting their whole face restructured? I mean, I think Austin the Great is the only player remaining who was originally on this squad.
I mean, for that squad, I mean, Cooter kind of said it best. He said it's like a team of leftovers because that team was really just kind of mushed from, if you look back at the original standings, that team was supposed to be number one. Like literally, you look at the regular stand or at the beginning of the season ratings, that team was meant to be number one.
Yes, this team, formerly headed by Hercules MWP, had a lot of very talented players on it. You saw Subkiller, who's turned out to be a very fantastic player throughout the season. You saw Codabear, who was on this team as well, a very fantastically strong mid laner, whose season also ended yesterday for both those players. And then Hercules finally dropped in the end, with Cooter being selected to retake over the squad, a former Season 1 captain at that.
Yeah, sorry. I lost my train of thought because somebody messaged me, but no, they were restructured really hard, kind of traded away. Trades kind of made that team, but I think that Cooter did his best, brought that team from what it was. I don't think they were terrible. They really, I hope they learned a lot. It's hard getting stomped sometimes, but it's just the name of the game. But I mean, a couple of players showed out. Austin the Great looked pretty good every game. Sphinx coming up from the mini league, he didn't even play bad. Arc wasn't even in the league, I think, at the beginning of it. So it's just, I mean, I think they can take away a lot of things. Like they kind of held up for a little while and gave it their all. So I mean, there's not much more to take away from that.
They played with a lot of heart, I would say. Despite what happened last time against Gloria at Mortem, they played with everything they had, and it might not have been much, but I think that they're a very tough and hardy squad, and I think all of these names here that you see, we're probably gonna see save Arc since he is on the mod team, so he probably won't be a player next season. We should see a lot of the same names here coming in season 3. Charles was on a championship team in season 1. And he's shown that he could still play. He played against Omega, who has been very strong for a lot. He's improved a lot too. You might see him in the majors or the minors next season. Austin, I think you'd expect to see in the majors. Sphinx, again, could be either way, and Cooter might be either way. Whether they're a sub on the majors team, possible last round pick for the majors, who knows? But their season ends. Gloria at Mortem will move on to face Phenoms, Skeet's own team, and they put up a clinic. There's not much else to really say. Sacrificial Pit did not die a single time. Atticus did not die a single time. Omega died once being soloed to Charles. Rai dying once. I don't even remember when that happened. Absolutely fantastic game. You look at the damage numbers. Rai almost getting up to Omega there. Fantastic game by that squad. It's going to be a very exciting matchup. Very exciting matchup that we're going to see. Gloria at Mortem versus Phenoms. But that might not be tonight. That might be tomorrow. Might be anytime. I don't know.
I think it's happening tonight.
It would be nice to see it happen tonight. But as of right now, the next game is set for 10:30. That is a best of 3, a proper matchup between Boonie Gang, coming off of a huge high, defeating the Goliath that was All In, as well as Kepwi Suns also pulling up the upset. A team of upsets, a bracket of upsets, best of 3. Catch it up, 10:30, same place. I might be there. I might not be there. I don't know. But it's been a good time in the booth with you, Skeet. And catch you guys later.